putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. So there's a guy, he's a professional mourner. I saw his Instagram thing, and he shows pictures of him regular, and then he shows pictures of him crying. And he's got a series of prices that really are funny. So, like, he's got, okay, let me look here. And he does it for funerals. He says, do you want to boost your funeral? Hire me, the professional mourner, to come and cry at the funeral. Below are the summer specials. All right. Normal crying, $50. Bohemian hollering, $100. Crying and rolling around on the ground, $150. Crying and threatening to jump into the grave, $200. Crying, oh, I love this one. Crying and actually jumping into the grave, $1,000. And what's so funny is he actually has pictures of him crying. And so he's got his regular picture, and then he's got his $50 special crying, the normal crying. And info, he says, inbox me for booking. So you can get a hold of him on Instagram and he will come cry. And I was thinking, boy, could the left use this guy right now? This dude would be a hit in Hollywood. He would just be the party crier. He would just show up from bourgeois cocktail party to bourgeois cocktail party. And he's a brother, which is even better. Big old goofy looking dude. But he would be like, oh man, it was so sad to hear about Harvey. Come here. Tell me about Harvey. I can see this dude working the circuit. This is hysterical. Oh my gosh. You know who else is crying? These late night comics. But before I get to that, I want to play a clip that we did not play when we talked earlier about Hillary Clinton and these leftists that are now breaking their silence because Hillary Clinton's broken her silence. And I want to play that clip so you guys have an understanding of exactly how big this is, that she's broken her silence. Hillary Clinton has. So here's the clip.
We have just in the last couple of minutes received a statement from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who has over the years been close to Mr. Weinstein. In that statement, she says, quote, I was shocked and appalled by the revelations about Harvey Weinstein. The behavior described by women coming forward cannot be tolerated. Their courage and the support of others is critical in helping to stop this kind of behavior. Harvey Weinstein, Harris, rapidly running out of friends.
Friends in Hollywood, huh? The most interesting part of that is, as I've said earlier, Hillary Clinton actually having the nerve to say, you know, these women, as they step forward, the courage that they show. But that's not what she said when it happened to her husband. But that's not even where I wanted to go. I wanted to go with why these late night comics still aren't touching Harvey Weinstein. Now, that's kind of a double entendre. Why they're still not touching Harvey. I'm not touching that. Harvey, man. Did we get that clip of Harvey with this girl? I don't know if you guys have heard this clip. Harvey's with I think she's an Italian girl, and there's a sting operation. And she's wearing a wire. Because Harvey, the night before, had just willy-nilly touched her breast. Just bloop, 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 didn't care. And you can hear on the tape, she's like, you just touched my breast last night. I'm not that way. I don't like the way you just do that. I'm not that way with men. And he's like, yeah, but I do. I can do that. And she's like, what do you mean you can do that? And it was funny to me because he was so nonchalant about, yeah, I can get away with that. And it validated what Donald Trump said women will let you do. But what Harvey did was he just did this, and this woman rejected him, and he couldn't handle that. And then if you heard the audio, and you probably have, there's no sense in us playing it now. No offense to you guys. Don't try to get it. It's too late. It's too late. You didn't do your job. That's okay. Anyway, I'm just messing with you. When you hear this, you hear how creepy Harvey is. He's trying to talk this woman into his room. They're in the hallway of a hotel, and he's like, just come in for a minute. Just come in for 5 minutes, a minute. And she's like, no, I don't want. He goes, look, I swear, I'm not going to do anything more. I'm not going to do, and it is so creepy because everything that they talked about with him in terms of the allegations made that he wanted you to watch him shower or to watch him pleasure himself or whatever, it was all validated. And as I said, when I read the New Yorker article, I was like, wow, this dude is really strange. And look, I'll be honest, I'm kind of a prude sexually in some regards because I'm looking at I don't care that somebody watches me shower. I just don't. I mean, and I'm pretty well built, and I don't care if you watch. I mean, I would prefer you not, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Especially you two. I don't want y'all watching at all, okay? And look, I remember the first time I showered in a locker room with all guys. I was like, really? Where's my stall? I don't want to be showering in here with a bunch of dudes. And this is when I was first set to shower with guys when I played football or played sports. I didn't even have a concept of gay. You know what I mean? I'm sure guys were checking me out like, man, Kev's got a nice body. Look at that booty, whatever. And I didn't even have a clue. For all intents and purposes, I was showering with a bunch of girls who were checking me out. I don't know. Because you can declare anything you want to be these days. Just wild. So, I don't know. That audio clip is just weird to me. We didn't play that yesterday, did we? You guys, did you have it? You have the clip? No, I don't want to play it. People have heard it. But here's what's interesting. So Harvey Weinstein in 2004 was potentially going to be brought up on charges for this stuff. And Cyrus Vance was the prosecutor for New York where this was occurring. And he dropped the case for someone. I don't know all the details around it, but he dropped the case. And Weinstein made a $10,000 donation to his campaign. Now, you can go research that for yourself, but that's what I've heard happened. And it was, swept under the rug. Campaign donation, everybody's good. This is how leftism works. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And the back scratching we're going to hear about is going to be interesting. But I want to come back to why are the late night comics still not talking about Harvey Weinstein? This is so ripe for comedy. I want to ask you this question. You know where I'm going? You think you know? What? You got it. You're right. So one of my producers, he nailed it. Because, they know how I think. Would the late night comics be busting Donald Trump if he were to be Weinstein? What do you think they'd be saying? Now, look, folks, I'm not naive. You turn some of these things around. It's a Trump thing versus an Obama thing. And you get a little different reaction. We all have that reaction because we believe the motivation. But in this particular case, this is not a Trump Weinstein. It's not a Republican Democrat thing. It's a Trump Weinstein thing. So I'll put it another way. What if you found out that Barack Obama were doing this? What do you think the left would be saying? See, completely different outcome with all three scenarios. There'd be people, believe it or not, trying to rationalize the reason why Barack Obama did what he did. Guarantee you there'd be a huge contingency on the left saying, look, it's been misconstrued. This didn't happen this way. And Barack Obama would be, look, you got to understand, the way things are, the way things work out here. And when you get to D.C., people, you got your challenges. And he would be explaining around it. Black folks would be rallying around this fool. You know it. With Weinstein, they're pretty much throwing him to the wolves, except for a few people. Late night comics can't find anything funny. Do you think these fools would find anything funny if it were Donald Trump? Looks like Donald Trump does more than grab a woman by the... it would be Donald Trump. More allegations around sexual harassment. It would be a non-stop media fest. Now, in defense of the media finally getting it, they're starting to cover it. Just starting to. But we all know how big this cycle would be if this were Trump. We know. So That's what I always come back to this. If you, and this, by the way, dictates the core of Hollywood. This is the very same core of Hollywood that allowed this man to get away with this. Is the core of Hollywood that would dare crush Donald Trump, but has let Weinstein skip for generations. And they're still letting him get away with it to some degree. They're not piling on him the way they would if he were a member of our team.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.